Hello, we are Group 15 and we will be presenting our social media audit on the entertainment industry. The entertainment industry is a collection of sub-industries that produce and distribute content via film, television, print, and radio, and it includes movies, TV shows, podcasts, radio, broadcasts, magazines, music, and more. The major players of the entertainment industry are commonly known as the Big Six and include Disney, Viacom, Comcast, News Corp, Time Warner, and Sony. These companies and their ventures contribute $632 billion to the United States economy. The three companies that we have monitored and will be discussing are Netflix, Marvel Studios, and Sony. Netflix being an online entity, they need heavy social media presence, and on Twitter alone, Netflix has 20 plus accounts ranging from customer support accounts, area served accounts, and individual content pages for their Netflix originals, including Stranger Things, Bird Box, and On My Block. Their main page was created in 2008 and has a following of 6.05 million with an increase of 3 to 4,000 followers daily. There are 28,000 tweets ranging from owned media tweets, personal and retweeted content, and they average 400 plus tweets per month. They use their header changes to promote new content and interact with followers via liking, retweeting, using memes, and GIFs.
Alright, so moving on to their Instagram account, Netflix has around 14.7 million followers, and over the 4-week process, they gained over 355,000 followers. They have 1,720 posts, and they post around 1 to 3 times daily. They have owned media, and they utilize the Instagram highlights to interact with their followers by creating pop quizzes, horoscopes, and wallpapers. They also have a consistent follower gain, and they reply to the users in the comment section. So moving on to their Facebook account, Netflix has around 57.3 million likes. They gained over 349,000 likes over the past 4 weeks, and they have 57.7 million followers. They have owned media, and a way to promote their films is by changing their cover photos, because that's the first thing that attracts the user's eyes once they click onto the link. During the 4-week process, they changed the cover photos at least 3 times. The first one was on April 26th with their current show called Chambers. Then they switched it on May 3rd with their series Dead to Me. And lastly, on May 10th, they switched it to their film Wine Country, which is still currently the same cover photo right now. And on their feed, they post a bunch of short video clips of their current shows and like behind the scenes and reunions of casts from their past shows. They also interact with their followers through the comment section, as you can see on the photo on the right on the bottom. So unlike their Twitter account, their Facebook and Instagram account, the way they reply to followers sounds less automated and more realistic.
So first, we're going to talk about Marvel Studios on Instagram. So this 4-week-long observation that spanned from mid-April to early May, Marvel Studios actually had 16.6 million followers, and as of May 2019, they actually have around 20.4 million followers, along with 1,196 posts. Through this 4-week observation, these companies' social media marketing efforts were preparing for the release of their biggest installment yet, Avengers Endgame. So most of the content posted consisted of earned media. Marvel Studios updated their Instagram page 2 to 5 times a day during different time periods, and these posts all included small 60-second previews counting down to the release of the movie, reposts and movie posters from different artists, and posts from the Avengers Endgame world premiere. And in observation, the video content tends to do better than posting a simple photo set. The most successful campaign implemented was the hashtag Don't Spoil the Endgame, otherwise known as the Endgame Spoiler Ban. Marvel Studios took to Instagram to post a video of the cast telling fans not to spoil the movie. This was a successful attempt, as the comment section of their post remained spoiler-free until the spoiler ban was lifted. Aside from their successful campaign, the efforts leading up to promoting Avengers Endgame resulted in a consistent follower gain. Through these 4 weeks, Marvel Studios ended up gaining a little over 4 million followers on their Instagram page. So moving on to Marvel Studios on Facebook. While Instagram is the platform with the largest following, Marvel Studios is also on Facebook. The page has gained around 5.1 million likes since before, during, and after the release of Avengers Endgame. It's also worth noting that, unlike Instagram, the like rate of the page grows at an even steadier rate. Posts tend to fluctuate from posting during multiple times a day to only once a day. Despite their smaller following, Marvel Studios went live on their red carpet world premiere on Facebook and ended up drawing around 5.1 million views. And majority of their posts on their Facebook page is a mix of earned and owned media. Marvel Studios posts photos, video spots, and movie reviews. However, the impressions of each post fluctuated. Some photos gained more impressions than videos, and vice versa. And like Instagram and Twitter, the Endgame spoiler ban also took effect on Facebook. And for the most part, this campaign was fairly successful. It wasn't closely monitored, but for the time being, users did not end up spoiling vital scenes in the movie in the comments section. However, when the ban did lift, consumers were less adverse to expressing their negativity about the movie as they started leaving negative comments on video posts that focused on the positive reviews and milestones of the movie. And this was an unsuccessful attempt on Marvel Studios' part. And unfortunately, Marvel Studios has refrained from engaging with users and did not address these negative comments. But as a whole, the marketing strategy was fairly successful, and the strategy implemented is quite similar to its Instagram counterpart.
The audience of 2.89 million, Marvel Studios' Twitter account has found the perfect balance of both informing their target audience while not bombarding them and causing a sense of information overload. They have received explosive growth. In the 4-week observation period, they gained an average of 20,000 followers a day, totaling 500,000 by the end of the period. They have also done a good job staying active on social media. On one occasion, a couple of days before the release of Avengers Endgame in mid-April, they tweeted a grand total of 77 times. The tweets were the perfect combination of owned media and earned media, with retweets acknowledging the fans, videos of the cast promoting the film, posts counting down the days to release, and exclusive previews of the movie. Even after the release of the film, to keep sales up in the maturity phase of the film, they continually interacted with their fans on Twitter through tweets that contained references from the film, like the tweet on the right saying, "We love our fans 3000." Employed throughout all their social media platforms and not just Twitter, was their most successful marketing ploy during the observation period in hashtag do not spoil the endgame. This marketing tactic personified how Marvel are the cream of the crop when it comes to creating word of mouth and empowering their fan base, as that specific movement was introduced by Marvel but was ultimately carried by the fans.
Sony Pictures has 29,599,572 likes. They have 29,603,291 follows who follow their Facebook page. They post almost every day, a couple times a day when they do. They have owned media and some earned. They have extremely low engagement, very little comments because they don't really engage with their followers. They just pretty much post their trailers on their feeds, nothing really exclusive or nothing really special about their content on Facebook. They have 7,433 likes a month on average, and they get 248 likes a day on average. And moving on to their Instagram, as you can see right here is a picture of their actual Instagram page, and they have 1.9 million followers. They have extremely low engagement, which is actually surprising to me because it looks like they have kind of more engagement on their Instagram than they would their Facebook. But it's not the case. They have actually the same content that they upload to Facebook. They upload the same to Instagram. They don't really have any special content for specific platforms. And it's pretty much really owned media. They do get earned media through tag pictures, but that's just kind of what comes with Instagram. Companies do get tagged a lot through people or like consumers or fans. So that's really how they get their earned media. And they also have premieres on their Insta highlights, which is kind of exclusive content, but it kind of makes their Instagram special, but there's not that really much engagement with the actual fans. And they also do post on their stories. As you can see, there's a little ring around the actual Instagram profile picture because that says that there's stories on there, but it's really just, again, trailers and premieres. They post a couple of days apart, and they do have consistent follower gain.
You would think that Sony has their stuff together when it comes to social media marketing, but don't let those numbers fool you, because out of the 121 tweets during the observation period, only 28 of them were from their actual Twitter account. The rest were merely retweets advertising their film. Long term, this lack of overall activity and consistency will be to their detriment. In addition, with an average of only a couple hundred followers a day, Many feel Sony Pictures has hit a saturation point compared to others in the industry. One attempt to combat this was their semi-successful campaign to encourage brand user engagement and the spread of earned media or word of mouth or retweeting good reviews like this tweet on the bottom. On the flip side, one marketing tactic that was received negatively was their unoriginal advertising of upcoming films with the stereotypical phrase, blank film coming to a theater near you. Such unoriginality leads to underwhelming box office sales and word of mouth, and in this case, the film The Intruder took the blow.
And for the recommendations that we have, for Marvel, we believe that they should implement a branch/team dedicated to purely fan engagement. They actually took a step in the right direction with Avengers Endgame, with the whole don't spoil the Endgame, which was really good for the fans and really good for the cast as well, because they really had everyone work together. Kind of just made the fans even kind of more excited and just more of a fan of Marvel for doing this, because they kind of had the fans back in a way. And Sony Pictures, we believe that they could have early screenings for their movies and invite influencers to create a stronger social media presence. So Universal Studios actually has done this recently, and I believe that they actually have more of a social media presence because they do get influencers to go watch their movies before they actually go into the theaters, which is a really good idea, and also just really gets a lot more people involved. We believe that Sony should also create different content for each platform to increase viewers' curiosity and urge to follow. Netflix can cut down on the number of accounts they have on social media. It's kind of bulization. People don't really know which ones to follow because there's so many. And they can also convert from an automated response system to a team dedicated to answering consumer concerns. To the right of the screen, we have rankings. For Marvel, we totaled their ranking to 8.1, Netflix 7.75, and Sony we have 5.7, and Sony is just really low because they do post quality content, but they're not really good at brand engagement or like their social media presence, so that's why they do get ranked at the lowest. And then Marvel, of course, has a much higher social media presence and does engage more with their followers and their fans as Sony. And Netflix is kind of in the middle. They do kind of engage, but they're not really full in to the whole engagement with their consumers.